Hey, guess what? I'm on the floor again. Yeah, so I'm back again, so this video is going to be about this guy right here. But it has to deal with the two of these. So, these are both Windows machines, and this is my Windows 11 testing machine. It's also my folding at home miner of sorts. It processes for folding at home. This one is just a gaming machine in general purpose use. It also does the video editing for all of these videos. So now it's good to have in networking and stuff like that. Mine's large enough, or there's enough on it to require names of things so that I know what actually goes into the network. So this one has the name Solaria, and this one has the name Odin. And this is actually kind of nice a little bit. It's nice. This is very futuristic looking, current day gamer, whatever. Now this one is it's a budget machine. This one not so much, but it's got a nice little things about it, and I'll show you real quick. It's got a nice little light. See that right there? This one has lights as well. On the button like this, and there we go. And it's in green because the household, green nature, and everything's great for it. So what I thought was, I want this to match this. So being the names Solaria and Odin is named after, I'm a fan of the Ronald D. Moore iteration of Battlestar Galactica. So this is named after the Battlestar Solaria, and this one is named after a Battlestar that does not have the name, but I basically creatively invented the Battlestar Odin, and it's in the original series, or the mini-series of the Battlestar Galactica. Solaria is, the Battlestar was identified as being destroyed, but there was no class given. And in the storyline, and this is just a little bit of history on that, of that chronology, in the original, at the time of the miniseries, every Battlestar was a capital ship, essentially, because the character Boomer and her ECO on the Raptor, they floated back to Caprica, and in the shot, they actually float by a destroyed Battlestar that looks a lot like the Battlestar Galactica. Now, Galactica itself was one of the original 12 that was built in the Silent War. But after the war, other ships were built, and at the time of the miniseries, from what I've gathered in reading, everything is only one of these Galactica type capital ships, and that they were. Now you look at the series as a whole, and they've had other classes or types of Battlestars. You've got the Valkyrie, you've got the Pegasus, the famous Pegasus from like the original series, and they brought it back. They brought the Battlestar back, and as a new type in the new series. And so you look at the series as a whole, then you've got your capital ships that look like Pegasus, and then you've got the Valkyries, which, according to the chronology, basically stayed the same throughout, but they're smaller. They're the workhorse of the fleet. And so, trying to decide what Solaria actually was. Well, at the time of the miniseries, it was a capital ship. It's just logic from everything I looked at. But was it a Galactica type? Well, was it big, rounded, ribs showing, all that stuff like that? Well, you look at the whole series, and the answer would be no. It would actually look a lot like Pegasus. So Pegasus, Mercury class or type, would be, I would, and this is me taking creative freedom on it, it would look a lot like this guy. Whereas Solaria, it was built, later on and stuff like that. And you look at the original series or the miniseries, and everything was a Galactica type. They didn't invent the class of Mercury yet. So that would be a couple seasons later. And so this one will be the same case. So, of course, OCD. You can blame it on that if you want. But I want both of these machines to be looking like this. So that's where I say Solaria was a capital ship for the miniseries, and the Pegasus used something that's really nice looking and such. So Solaria, as a series as a whole, was, I say, the same kind of class, a capital ship. Now, the insides of these are completely different. This is a budget machine, so it's a budget interior. The motherboard, things of that sort. Graphic card. This one here is a lot more recent. It's got an RTX 3070 in it. In a previous video, I said this had like a 1050, a GTX 1050. Well, no. It's a GTX 1660. So it's a little better than that. But still a budget machine. This one, so what I did was I went out and I needed to find this case. Well, I went to where I bought it from, which happened to be Newegg, and they do have it listed, but they were out of stock. So I searched other places, Tiger Direct, I went on Amazon, other places, and just couldn't find it. So I made the ultimate choice to check out eBay. And what do you know? I found it on there from a guy out in California. I'm in New Hampshire, so. And they said they had more than 10 listed and or available at the time of the posting. And then, they said it was open box. So, and it was about half the cost. So I'm like, all right, well, given the shipping and stuff like that, it works out to be about the same. So I went ahead and I bought it, open box. Now, with open box, when you buy on eBay with stuff like this, sometimes what you can find is that it was open box for a number of reasons. One could be, well, the adhesive or something like that may have just come loose and nothing is gone. Or somebody opened one, had bought one, opened one, something was missing, and they opened up another one to get that missing part. It could be something like that. Or any number of reasons. So, I went ahead and get it because what I'm looking for is basically what you see here. I just want this with the RGB. I call it unicorn blue, essentially. So, I went out, I got it. It took a week to get here. I haven't opened it yet, so I'm going to open it here today. And check it out, see how it's looking out, and decide what we're going to do at that point. So why don't we check that out? Alright, so here we are. I'm on my couch, and here is the unit right here. Why don't I pick it up and show it to you? Yeah, this is it. And I haven't opened it yet. So, yeah, essentially. So you can see the case there. See the front of it. And a little graphic. And it's still sealed from shipping, so I am going to put it down so that it's not in the way. Of course, I've got my microphone cord in the way. So I'm going to open it up. So why don't we do that? And I like these cases. These are very nice. It's got the glass panel side. It's got a basement. They call it a basement so that you can put the power supply unit, or PSU, into the bottom here. Alright, so we open it up. Let's see if we can get this to slide out. There we go, right there. There we are. So here's the unit. Alright, so take that top one. Oh, something just dropped. Okay, it's a thumb screw for the side panel. So, slide this down and giving it a good look over. Okay, this is the left side. I'm looking for cracks on the glass. So, this is glass. It's tempered glass. Don't stand on it, even though it's tempered. Alright, so take the thumb screw, put that off to the side. And it's currently upside down. So, piece of styro. Alright, so what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to make sure the other one is tight. Alright, and I'm going to flip this guy over. Try not to scratch the table. Alright, move this. Okay, so this is the bag. I'll keep that. So that whenever I transport this, I'm going to transport it in that box, in that styro, in that bag. So, alright, so here we are. And so we got the front. The front here is tempered glass. All three fans are in there. And there's the one in the back. It is there. So that's good. The major components are there. So, and I see no cracks, and there also is no protective film on it to peel off. So Linus Tech Tips, I recommend you check them out. They they're like, oh, anytime you build it, the last thing you want to do is peel away the protective filming off of the side panels. Or the front if I have to do one. Well, this case, when it came, it doesn't have one. So I can't do that. So, not a big deal. So, I'm going to stop for a second so that I can turn my light on so it's not so dark in here. Okay, I'm back and I've got the light on. So, yeah, you can see me a little better. It's a little ring light. It's about yay big. And it's behind the camera. So here's the case. When I first put it up, it had that nasty glare, so I turned it like this so you can see it a little better. So let's look for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then of course, I've got the fourth thumb screw right here. So, I'm going to keep that. So, let's take a look at it. So let's undo these thumb screws. And we'll take a look on the inside. Ah, it's tight. You gotta be careful this doesn't just fly off, which it still might. Just gently pull like that. And there it is. Check this over for any cracks. I don't see any. It's got the little warning, caution glass sticker. I'll be removing that. Put that off to the side. It's a little piece of styro. And got caught up in there. Pull that out. Alright, so I'm going to look it over, and the inside looks alright. I see that the unicorn poop controller is up here, seems to be tight, and of course the fans are there. The basement shroud is here, and of course the rear fan is here. So, and we've got some cords, so that's good. And we have this here, and we got a couple of spots for SSDs, for solid state drives. And on the top, what we have is a magnetic held down on the table. Oh yeah, just these off to the side. This is a dust cover of sorts. It's a it's see-through. You can see right through it, and air flows right through it. It goes in the top. And so on the top, right up in here, what you can put is you can put a radiator. And I happen to have one that's this size. And Solaria, which is down there, is air-cooled right now. It's got an AMD Ryzen processor in it. I believe it's 3000 series. I could be wrong, but I think it's a 3000 series Ryzen, and it's air cooled right now. It's an air cooled cell, and there's no shrouds or anything on the front of the unit, and dust is getting inside and all over everything. So I'll show you myself. After I get it all taken apart and get it all spread out, I'll probably take some compressed air and blow off all the dust, and then I might take a brush to it. Could be wrong, but I'm at least going to do the compressed air and get that in. So looking at this, it's looking all right. And there's one of these. There's a vent in the bottom, so that the power supply fits in this area right here. And there's a vent hole there so that air can circulate up through. And with this, there's dust covers on each side of the front here, on each side and on the top. So the airflow of this unit is, you can get it from down below, you can get it from the front, and it comes in and it goes up, and also out the back. So, and since I've got that radiator, it allows me to water cool the processor, and from that it will actually keep the temperatures down. Now, the temperatures that are currently being shown on there, I'm using MSI Afterburner to monitor temperatures, and on Solaria I'm getting somewhere around 70 degrees Celsius. I haven't figured out how to get Fahrenheit, but it's 70 Celsius, and almost maybe you can't change it, not a big deal. 70 Celsius, perfectly fine, rated for like 100, 110 now. And in Odin, that one is water cooled, and it's got a radiator in it, and I'm getting like 30 Celsius, between 30 and 35 Celsius, and that's even with running renders of my videos and in playing World of Warcraft. It doesn't get any hotter than 34, 35 Celsius. And so I'm like, I think I can get that same performance on this unit, even though Solaria is actually... Okay, so the battery died. So I'm going to end it right there. I put the glass back on. Everything's looking good right now. It could change when I go to put stuff in. But here's that little, hey, guess what? This is glass sticker. So, remove that. Here it is. Throw that away. I don't need it. I know it's glass. The knock on it is glass. And it's tempered glass, but don't stand on it. And I've got the little packet of screws right here. And I have this. I bought this separate. It's a Y cable, Y connection, because the radiator has two fans, and this is to connect both those fans onto this and have one header connection, one plug, so that I can run that. And I can do it directly into the motherboard. I know that I can. So, but we'll see if I can't connect it directly to the PSU. So I'm going to put these right in here, right into the basement. And so, catch us next time when I take apart the Solaria and basically gut it, get everything out before putting it into this guy. So, catch me next time. So, Skál, and if you like this video, you give it a like, and if you made it all the way to the end, give me an emoji down below, something kind of like, give me a pine tree. So we'll go with that. So, and if you happen to want to support me, you can support me with an arrow. The address down there. That's a QR code. The address is also down in the description, and much appreciated. And any crypto that happens to come in helps me with this channel with supplies such as this guy. This was not done with crypto. I had to pay for this myself. But fortunately for me, it only came out to about 75 bucks. So, here we go. I couldn't even get this, I'm trying to preserve this table. This is what you happen to see, the little gridded worksheet thingy on, and the tape that was holding this down, yeah, I put it off, and I put it off the side of the table. When I picked it up, it caught the veneer, and it pulled up the veneer. Just a teeny piece of it. I glued it back down. Unfortunately, I've got a Sharpie marker that I can use for touch-ups. That's the same shade as the tabletop that I already had for years. And I just glued it back down, and I just colored it in, stuff like that, and, you know, it looks almost normal. You know, it's just a little bit of differences there. You know, no ruffles or rumples or dimples or anything like that, or smears of glue or anything of that sort. You know, it just looks like it's been done. You know, but it's not so bad that it caused a huge, noticeable difference. But this unit currently looks okay. So so far I'm very happy with it. So I need to pull up this side where the cables are, because I know they're there. I saw them from the other side, just to make sure everything's in order, and we'll get started on gutting Solaria and getting things ready to be transplanted into this guy. So come on back and see me again. So I'll say it again. Skál, come on back. We'd love to see you, and we'll check you next time.